Rob had been over the road for 30 years, 25 of those owning and operating Betsy's Trucking. He named it after his sweet wife and even had her face painted on the door so he could see her every day with pride. As the years went by, daylight came quicker and the road got longer. The day could not come soon enough when he'd settle up with his lady who stuck by him all these years. One more haul, and Rob was calling it quits. He could hardly see the road ahead. If he could just pull through, he'd be home to his sweet Betsy by morning.
This ain't good,
He mumbled to the empty seat beside him. That's when he saw the neon lights of Tony's diner ahead. And Rob pulled in. Jesse's truck was in the maintenance bay at the truck stop next to the diner. His driver-manager set him up at a motel nearby until he could get his truck back on the road. That day, he limped his truck in and handed his keys to the technician. Fortunately, Tony's diner next door was slow, and Jesse was snug as a bug with a hot cup of coffee in a booth next to the window as the clouds rolled in. He looked up from his coffee at an old rig swinging into the lot.
You see that rig?
He asked the waitress. "Yep, all sorts come through here," replied the waitress. "Top up on the coffee, hon?"
Nah, thanks. Haven't seen a jalopy like that for a while.
Jesse said as he and the waitress watched the rain pelting down on the old rig outside. The rig's door read, "Betsy's Trucking." It had a face of a lady like a pin-up model, but it looked like it had aged along with the rig. The waitress let out a gasp. I need to check on the cook," she said, backing away, then going into the kitchen. Outside, Rob settled his old Betsy's Trucking hat on his head and lumbered out of the cab into the downpour, pausing at the sight of Betsy's face on the door and letting out a long sigh. Trudging through the puddles on his way to a lonely payphone on the other end of the parking lot, he groaned. His knees and hips hurt something awful, but he had to call his wife. "Hello," answered the sweet voice of Betsy.
Hey, darling.
Rob said.
Storm coming through and I just can't make it home tonight.
"Oh, no, not again, Rob."
I'm so sorry, Bets. I'll pull out just as soon as I can.
Still watching the old rig driver through the window, Jesse put down his coffee mug with a thud and thought, "I wonder if that old-timer needs help." Determined, Jesse got up to walk through the maelstrom towards the phone booth, just as Rob hung up the phone.
Hey, need a hand?
He shouted over the wind and biting rain. Rob turned to look at the newcomer, rain falling down the brim of his cap in a look of defeat.
Just telling my lady Betsy I'll have to ride the storm out, Saul. Not many rigs like yours still on the road. Thought maybe you had a breakdown. No, just bad luck. This is my last haul and I wish it was done. How about I buy you a cup of coffee so you can get out of that rain? No, thanks all the same. Gave it up a few years back. I think I'll try my lady again. Let her know I'll be home tomorrow.
Rob said while turning back to the phone booth. Jesse shrugged and walked off back towards the diner to get out of the rain. The next morning, Jesse woke late and took his time knowing he'd be here at least another day with his truck in the shop. Opening the door to a bright sky, he scanned the parking lot next to the diner. Only a few trucks were still parked from the night before, but the old-timer and his rig were gone.
Must have left at first light to finish his haul and get back to that lady,
Jesse thought to himself as he opened the door to the diner for breakfast. He bided his time watching news on the TV. "Hey, good looking, what's new today?" said the perky waitress.
Well, sweetheart, you won't have to look at my mug again. I'm hoping to pull out later today,
Rob said and took a slurp of his coffee.
There's one thing last night. An old rig driver pulled in and it's gone this morning. Know anything about it?
"Oh, no, honey," she stammered. "Just us chickens here. I better go check on that cook again, she said in a rush and hurried into the kitchen. Returning to his coffee, Rob divided his attention between the news and watching the lot out the window. A truck driver was reported missing after heavy rainfall was found dead. The police department reconfirmed the death of the missing trucker. Police have not released the name of the victim and are working to notify the next of kin. This is the second truck driver reported missing in the community. Feeling restless, he got up, stretched, and made his way to the back of the diner. Next to a lottery machine and a weight scale, he scanned a bulletin board and froze. The poster read, "Missing, Rob Smith. Have you seen him? Do you have any information about his disappearance? Last seen September 29th, 2012 at Tony's Diner. Please call 555-123-4567. Jesse looked upon the familiar face, the face of the old-timer, and who must be his lady. Rob and Betsy. The words on the poster sent a chill down his spine. 10 years, truck driver, missing. Jesse's heart began to race. He pulled out his phone and dialed the number. Hello?
Hi, I'm calling about the missing trucker poster
No response.
at Tony's Diner?
This isn't funny, Sonny. I told them to take that sign down years ago. Can't you let a widow grieve?
Widow? I'm sorry, I'm calling about Rob Smith. I saw him last night and he pulled in from the storm. Betsy's truckin' was on the door. I spoke to him after he called with his wife and...
Listen, don't call here anymore. Isn't it enough that I had to bury my poor Rob and that you people call and tell me he showed up again?
I'm sorry. I don't understand. I just saw
Listen
him.
to me. I buried Rob after police found him 2 weeks after he went missing. The truck was totaled, and I couldn't sell it to make payments on it. Our home was foreclosed. Our home! All that didn't matter. It was my life. My life! If you call again, I'm calling the police. Leave me be! The call ends abruptly.
It can't be true.
Stunned, Jesse looks at the poster and tugs it from its pin.
But I saw him.
That is when Jesse knew. That old-timer, Betsy's trucking, the rain. Rob would never make it home. Rob was dead.